My name is Father Cletus Muila. I'm a Catholic priest based in Choma at St. Mary's Parish. I'm a Zambian. And my home area is Monze in a place called Chikuni. That's where I come from. And I've been a priest the last 34 plus years. And I've worked in different places. I have studied at home here in Zambia and outside Zambia. I've had quite, you can sample it up and call it an international sampling of experience. So that's who I am. I'm almost 2 years now in Choma here, running a church, a community, quite a big community of Catholics in Choma. So that's who I am, yes.
What are some of the challenges you have to face dealing with the Tonga people in Southern Province?
Well, I have no challenge dealing with the Tonga people. I have challenges dealing with people. Yeah, so challenges is at the moment are not the people, it's the times that are changing. That's what I deal with. To be a church, one has to be aware of the times that are changing. That it's not, you cannot find people in docility and you think they will just say yes or no, but you need to be able to read through the changes that are taking place. Because of the global village, people are able to access information beyond their cultures. But at the same time, there are some who get stagnated in their cultures and may not want to learn from the other one. But how to localize the gospel in such situation is not an easy thing. So one has to have an open mind, which I don't want to call a challenge. I want to call it as an opportunity, because you have so many to learn just as much as they have so much to learn from this interaction. So people have moved on. People have new experiences, as well as you still have some of those who have the old experiences. Maybe what I would call as a challenge would be the two, as they dialogue. It is always difficult to find the meeting point.
Who are the Tonga in your estimation? How would you describe them?
I'd have loved to talk about the tribes in Zambia before I talk about the Tonga people, because there are so many tribes in this country, so we need to recognize their presence. We are a country where we have 73 tribes. We have languages spoken, there are a variety of them, and I'm privileged to be able to speak quite a number of them, those that I am able to speak. So, but among these peoples, notably in the Zambian communication system, we have 7 that are used. We have Bemba, we have Nyanja, we have Lozi, we have Kaonde, we have Lunda, we have Luvale, we have Tonga. That gives you 7. Even on our national broadcasting, we use those languages. Yeah, but of particular interest, you want to talk about the Tonga people. The Tonga people are quite a big tribe. But these tribes have also what we call, if you like, you would call sub-tribes within the tribes. So it's very difficult to say maybe you are 40%, because others also look for the sub-tribes and they will discover that they are not. So it's quite a big tribe. It's one of the bigger tribes in the country. That's what I would say.
I've read how the Tonga people dealt with Lake Kariba and the dam and so forth. What makes these people so strong?
Strong in what sense?
To be resilient against all the challenges they had to face since the 1950s.
Yeah, but you see, like I'm saying, what I like is we should see things a bit objectively. That building up a dam was a value to this country. So I wouldn't want to think the Tongas were the only ones who were correct. Other people also were correct, because today, except this time we have had drought and the water is less, we've been had electricity from that dam. Maybe the approach at the time, the engagement, the language between the two groups were not meeting, and so maybe that way. So they resisted, and I'm sure a number of people died. Those who refused to move on, they died, but many more others moved on. and they are still there. Some who saw the building of the dam, they are there. So strength of the Tonga people, I don't know whether it is from resisting to move, or it's the fact that they are still alive after the dam was made. I don't know what makes them strong. But every tribe is strong. Every human being is supposed to be strong. The Tonga people, they have their own cultures that make them live that way. They are farmers. They are animal keepers, especially cattle. So that defines who they are. Resilience, yes, they are, because they have to work hard to earn a living, to feed their families. But they also were lucky because the school came to them much earlier than most of the parts of the country. So they went to school. There are so many educated Tonga people too, equally with the other tribes. So I think the Tonga people cannot be judged in isolation. They are judged within the context of the family of the people that are in the country. So yes, I grew up in the village myself, herding cattle. I know, and farming. I grew up in the home of my grandfather. He taught us the values of being who we are today. So resilience is born from the fact that we were taught values. But I wonder whether a modern Tonga child is resilient. I doubt it.
What role does Christianity play in the lives of people, all the tribes in Zambia?
Well, the Christianity is a religion that came. So those who came persuaded them, explained to them why they should believe, and people received the message. And they believed in the gospel. They are still struggling to believe in it because there is also their own culture. Then there is also the Christian religion. But the dialogue is an opportunity. Maybe that is still at the level of a challenge because otherwise you end up with dualism. The values of my culture as well as the values of the gospel. Do they marry? Do they meet? Maybe not. Do I truly believe in Jesus Christ, or I'm more inclined in my cultural values? So this is Christianity brings an aspect of just as the Tonga people themselves or any other tribe in the Zambian situation, before missionaries came, they had already a vision of the future. But Christianity has the same. So I don't think Christianity can be blamed for having a vision. What we should do is, how do we dialogue between the two so that it's a common vision and eventually we arrive at that vision. We call it in theology enculturation, entering the culture of the people. Don't condemn it, but also what you bring should not be seen as a problem. You bring good news, but there's this culture. So the best is this good news you bring, let it enter into the culture of the people. Let there be a dialogue. We call it enculturation, in culture. Put it in the culture of the people. Within culture, we must learn also to come out of the culture. Yeah, because to remain there, I think I try to help people to be broad-minded, to say, no, be careful, you might lose your culture and all this. No, I can't lose my culture if I make a choice that I won't lose it. But I can learn from other cultures. To say, be careful, those who have come, they will do this, it's not fair because they bring certain value, which I appreciate. And they should also learn to appreciate what I bring. So at this table, we put what is common, what is familiar, what is similar, and we see how best we can use that. So I think we can learn from both ends. Only my argument would be my culture, growing up in the home of my grandfather, what I learned at home, I call it formal education. What I learned in a classroom through modern education, I call it informal education because it contradicts what I learned at home. So what is normal and correct for me is what I learned at home. But I can learn from this informal education that came. It has helped me be who I am today. I'm able to speak a language like I'm speaking today. That's value. But I can also speak my own language. And we discovered you can actually learn many more languages. I speak Italian, io parlo italiano, una lingua che io ho imparato quando ero studente in Italia. So you can learn all sorts of languages because of education and this interaction. So I think Christianity is an opportunity for cultures, and cultures are an opportunity for Christianity. But there must be a dialogue.
Does Christianity dominate the religions in Zambia, or are there other religions?
Well, I would say Christianity, yes. Majority of the people are Christians, but there are also traditional religion. There are traditional religions against Christianity. But within Christianity, there are many denominations, different churches that are there. So I would say yes, a number of Zambians, over 50%, they'll be Christians. Yes.
What do you see in the future in terms of the church and the future of Zambia, and what sort of 10 years down the line, what advancements do you think you'll have made in Christianity in Zambia?
Well, it's
in other words, what's the future?
It's being open to reality, because Christianity is not just reading the Bible and that's it. Christianity means, am I becoming better? Am I developing? Pope Paul VI, who was Pope from 1962, 63 to 1978, in one of his documents called the Evangelii Nuntiandi, the Church in the Modern World, he said, Christianity, evangelization is development, and development is evangelization. So if you just want to evangelize me and in docility live in the church and just pray, you are denying me the fact that I can be better than I am. Or the opposite. If you just make me better, but you deny me the faith, then that's unfortunate. So I want to see that we appreciate development as well as we appreciate the faith. But there must be a balance. Each of the two must enrich the other. And you come up with a human person who does not just insist on materialism, but can also insist on the soul. But you also, if you just insist on the soul without improving my material world, then there is a problem. So down the road, I would like to see people who believe and work hard. People who believe not because God will do this for me, but they believe that through hard work on my part, God will do better for me. Otherwise, it will be nothing. Secondly, also the church, in the context of the current theology of Pope Francis, we are talking about the synodal church, people walking together without leaving anybody behind. I would like to see a church where no one remains behind, no one to be considered as that one is this or that one, no. But we go along, even if we are different, because we'll always be different anyway. So, but we go along together. But the sense of the sacred is important for any value system. That's what I was taught, even in the culture at home. The sense of the sacred helped me not to steal. I didn't learn it at church, I learned it at home. So Christianity is not wrong. Christianity is correct by saying, don't steal, thou shalt not steal. But in my culture too, don't steal. It's the same thing. So I don't see Christianity stealing from me anything, neither do I steal anything from Christianity. What we need is to say, what is it that is common? What are those values that we need to carry forward and build a community like that? So if someone is hungry, we must share food. If somebody is elderly, we must take care of them. If somebody is a stranger, we must welcome them. And I think that both sides teach me that. At home, if the neighbor was hungry, my grandmother would say, take them a bit of food or call them to eat. I think that's the way we are. So what I don't agree is one who tells me, be careful, Christianity came to steal from you while you are watching. That is not true. We need the interaction. We need comparisons in terms of our experiences. What is my experience? What is your experience? What is the Christian's experience? What do we learn from one another? And I'm sure that even missionaries, when they came, in their attempt to bring the message, they were making mistakes because they didn't know our cultures. And I wouldn't blame them. When I went to Europe first, I didn't know Europe. Probably I couldn't easily change from one airport to the next because I didn't know. I needed to ask. Now I can go because I have learned. And the missionaries, now they can come, they can engage, we can talk, we can study together, we can dialogue. It has opened up. We also go to study in Europe, where the Europeans who brought the faith here. So we are able to interact and compare notes. So this is the Christianity that I would like to see as we go along.